there was never any doubt on that. It verified what we already knew. We feel like our offense should be a more explosive offense than what it was today, particularly in the first half. We found a better rhythm there in the second half. But that's what we went into the game planning on doing, and it just took us a little while to get going.
And obviously, turnovers were a big deal in the football game. Had an interception and a fumble, but you did stop him on fourth down twice, which kind of is equivalent to a takeaway. But turnovers are key, weren't they?
Killed us. I mean, we went into the second half saying if we're going to win the turnover battle, we're going to win the game. And it certainly didn't work out that way, and the Chargers got us. So hats off to them. But that part's disappointing.
Coach, what are your initial takeaways from Joe Burrow's performance in his NFL debut?
Some good and some things we got to improve on. There were some missed opportunities there that we missed, but overall kept his composure, moved on to the next snap, which is important, and made some critical plays down the stretch that put us in a position to go tie the game, go win the game. And thought his decision-making overall was really good, where he went with the ball. In the first half, he was running for his life there. And we did a better job minimizing that in the second half.
Coach, what did you guys do to minimize that, do you think? And how nervous were you about Joe taking that many hits early in the game and how that could maybe affect him mentally as it went on?
Yeah, there's some ways you want to attack them. And unfortunately, that puts you in some one-on-one situations. And so we had some plans to help those guys, and we did as best we could. And that's two of the best edge rushers in the NFL. They have to play on the same team. They have to play opposite of each other. And so if you're going to keep if you're only going to get 2 or 3 receivers out, that's going to be a long day for you. So we tried to help those guys as best we can. I thought that they really rebounded nicely in the second half.
Quarterback draw, Coach, was that a called play or was that an audible for the touchdown?
He audible to that.
He saw the look that he wanted and just audibleized?
Yep.
Zach, what was your thoughts on the A.J. Green nullified touchdown there at the end of the game?
Tough. That was a tough view for me to see, and critical play in the game. That's a tough one.
Coach, run defense was obviously a bad issue last year. The Chargers rushed for 155 yards today. What did you see in that end of side of the football?
We had some missed tackles. I know that in the second half there, those showed up, particularly in the fourth quarter. I think in the first half, those guys really did a nice job. They gave up one play there in the 2-minute drill that led to a field goal. But for the most part, we put them in some tough spots with those turnovers. We left them on the field for a long time, and that's really where the rush defense wears down when they got to keep going back out there because we had a pretty quick turnover there in the third quarter.
Did Bullock injure himself, or did he get a cramp?
I haven't heard that yet.
Did you think that was I'm sorry, Zach, you said on the last play to AJ, it looked like it was one guy. It looked like just two guys making a play. I mean, if they don't call a penalty, he scores, right?
What it looked like.
Joe Burrow struggled in the first half. What was he doing better after halftime to get more yards, get you guys in better position?
Our offense struggled in the first half. I wouldn't necessarily put that on one person by any stretch. There was a lot of plays he was running for his life. He was getting hit, trying to get the ball out of his hands. So I wouldn't say that was a struggle necessarily.
You dominated field position in the first half. I mean, you had your average drive start was twice as good as theirs. I mean, they were starting at the 17-yard line. You guys were at the 35-yard line. That was a big deal, wasn't it, in the first half to have that average drive start of every drive be a big factor?
Yeah, that's the most disappointing part of the game is our defense and special teams were winning the field position battle for us. We didn't capitalize on it in offense. We had some opportunities again in the third quarter that we didn't hit. And, that's just what it comes down to.
Coach, what was your view of the interception? It looked like Joe was just kind of trying to throw a shovel at the last second. Would you talk to him about that, or what was your view of that play?
Yeah, I had a great view of it. Just trying to make a play, and Ingram made an outstanding play. For a defensive end appeal like that, and then have the awareness to pick the ball off is obviously Joe would like to have that play back, I'm sure, but that was a heck of a play by Ingram.
Looked like Jonah blocked him too well. I mean, Jonah stuffed him, and he decided just to peel off and get involved in the pass coverage. It was crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean that's wise by Jonah. If the end feels the screen and peels off, then stick with him, so we can't go disrupt the play.
Zach, what was communication like with Joe for you during the game? I mean, that's the first time you guys have gone through a game like this. It looked like Pitch was over there with him a lot. Yeah. How much did you kind of come in on that, or how did that dynamic work in your mind?
Yeah, I usually been talking through Pitch to Joe, while I'm focused on the stuff going on the field. And so It may not look like I'm over there, but we're having all those conversations just through the headset.
I think you had to use your last timeout. I think you had 6:22 left when you lose your last timeout. Was that basically was that communication issue?
Yeah, it was a critical third down. If we don't get that third down because we're uncertain on what play we're running, then that would be a big regret, post game. So it's unfortunate that we had to use the third time out there, but it just felt like that was a critical down and distance that we had to get the right play off.
You see, Coach, that the offense was struggling mightily in the first half. What adjustments did you make at halftime to make things more smooth in the second?
We just settled down. I mean, we were doing some silly things. It was usually a different person on every play. It was, I know we had two penalties that were on us, pre-snap penalties that hurt us. Just when we were getting some momentum, one or two times we had some targeting. It was just always a different person on every play, and we did a better job settling down in the second half.
Zac, I know these are decisions that have to be made quickly, but how much did you guys consider with 7 seconds left taking one more shot to the end zone?
That's a good question, but just getting bumped back there with the rush that they can get you with. If you don't get the ball in the end zone and you take a sack there, then the game's over and you don't even get a chance to tie it. We felt like we had great momentum heading into overtime. It's just it could go either way sometimes. Just felt like we had great momentum. Let's kick the field goal and go win it in overtime.
Hey guys, one or two more for Coach, and then we'll get him out of here.
Zac, you mentioned the third quarter, a couple deep shots there that appeared to be a tick-off. What were your thoughts on those, the one to Ross and then the one to Green?
Yeah, we got to capitalize on them. There's plays there to be made. We got great players. We just got to connect on those.
I can't get my name straight here. Zac, what does it say about Burrow for him to have that interception, then come back and go 7-10 on that last drive to put you in position to win?
That's what we expect. He just moves on to the next play, and I'm sure he's disappointed that he had the turnover. But again, you don't sense that at all from him on the sidelines. He's focused on what he's got to get done, and he went out there and put us in position to go down there and win or tie the game.
But you had some injuries to linemen, short week. I know you don't know how bad the injuries are, but tough situation to have a short week with guys limping and gimping.
Yeah, we'll find out a little bit more about that. I don't have all that information quite yet.
Zac, Joe Mixon fumbles there kind of late there in the game, and didn't really see him much after that. Was just a product of the fact that you guys were kind of in a hurry up situation.
100%. That's all it came down to. We got full faith in Joe, but we were in a situation where you start moving the ball down the field in the pass game.
All right, Coach.